A big exam question: discuss the traditional collection and storage of medicinal plants. This is a big 20-mark question that you can get in the Bot 2605 module that you can take at UNISA. I've already discussed the taboos and traditional methods of collecting plants in a previous video, link in the description below. And without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, first of all, not all plants can be stored. Some plants can or are only allowed to be used in their fresh state. This is because the storage process or the process of prepping it for storage can destabilize the compounds in the plant that give it its medicinal properties. The compounds in the plant that give it its medicinal properties are known as active compounds. But don't worry, there are plenty of plants that can be stored. And how do we store these plants? So first off, we can dry them in the sun, or we can also dry them in the shade. We can slice them up and dry them up, and then we can also turn them into a powder by grinding them down. All plants have to be stored. Now you can store plants in glass jars, paper bags, newspaper. The most important thing when it comes to the storage of plants is to make sure whatever you package that plant in, that the packaging does not affect the potency of the plant. It does not affect or destabilize the chemicals of the plant that give it its medicinal properties. Let's just define the word potency quickly, because I know a lot of people write it down and they don't actually know what it means. So, potency, the power of something to influence. Plant material should also be stored in dry, cool conditions. If you can put it in a fridge, that'll be good. Anywhere between 2 to 8 degrees Celsius, if possible. That's a great temperature to store plants to make sure they keep their potency for a long period of time. Right. Now, another question that pops up in the Bot 2605 module that really confuses people is the illustrate the storage of plants. Now, this is a very, very simple question, but I think because it's so simple, its simplicity confuses people. And it can be 15 to 20 marks, and it's really simple, guys. Just literally draw the stages at which plants are stored. Draw plants being dried, draw them lying on a rock and being dried on a rock, draw them being turned into a powder, draw them being packaged and stored. That's it. And then underneath, I suggest you do is what's called a legend. You write down what's happening in the diagram, label your diagram. You can even write down as you go. It doesn't have to be like perfect scientific rules like how you have to do in high school. Don't worry about that nonsense. Just write down underneath or even as you go what is happening. Don't forget to label. And it's as simple as that. It's a free 10 to 20 marks. I can't remember how many marks it is. I'll show you on screen here. And yeah, that's it. That's that question. Now, here's an exam summary for those of you who need it. If this video was helpful, please give it a like and subscribe. In the next video, we'll be talking about the conservation of medicinal plants. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time on Reign of Knowledge.